Sunday, March 27th, 1994. And as the sun has long since gone down and the last note has died out, and I want to welcome in Rufus Reid. It's good to see and hear you again.
Thank you. It's really good to be here again, too. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
I'd like to ask you a little bit about the concept of TANAREID and how you you all think about it.
Well, the basic concept of TANAREID is really to bring the rhythm section, which has always been considered in the back line, kind of coming up to the front line without annihilating the back line or really destroying our roles that is expected of us. And of course, we don't want to, but I never really wanted to be a leader by myself per se, and I think I've always thought that two heads were better than one anyway. But the collaboration came about because I really enjoy playing with Akeeta very much, and we've done so many different things over the years. And when I kind of got the idea, I approached him about this, and of course he hadn't given it any thought, as you can imagine. But it's worked out very beautiful because he works hard. We have now into our fourth year of collaborating, and we haven't divorced yet. And I mean, it's kind of like another relationship, another marriage in a sense. But there were a lot of people that came to mind that I'd love to play with, but most of them were busy into some other situations. And TANAREID is a business. It's a registered partnership in the state of New Jersey. It's a business name, TANAREID Productions. So, I mean, you heard the nucleus of TANAREID, but TANAREID Productions produces some records. The doors are open that hopefully we'll be able to do many different kinds of things. That maybe the band's not working, but we're producing some other situations, or we're enabling some concerts to happen, or some recordings to be done, etc., etc. And but right now we've got to build something, and of course people traditionally they like me. I've been with Stan Getz, Dexter Gordon, and Dizzy, and I've recorded with a lot of different people. But people say, "Well, you shouldn't have any problem getting to work for the band." I said, "But it doesn't work that way. It's a marquee value that is very, very necessary, and I understand that." So we are now in our real, not embryo anymore, but people are just beginning to take us serious. And then we have 3 CDs out now that are representing the music that we play and the sound. We're really very, very aware of making a band, a group, an ensemble sound. I mean, and if you notice, I mean, we're being featured a lot within the context, but we're not soloing on every tune. I mean, I guess that's what most people would probably be afraid of, if there was a drum solo on every song or a bass solo all the time. And we're trying not to do the predictable situations. We've tried to learn from the people that that I had an apprenticeship with, of the good things we keep, and things that weren't so good we try not to utilize them. And so with the people that are working for us, we try to give them the respect that we would have liked to have had, or that we did have from other people. And it's been a growing experience, but the band has really evolved into a sound that I think in another couple of years, I think it'll be a lot more solidified, that we really truly do exist. Because I think we have what it takes to hang on, but most of the record people don't. I mean, I'm too old. Actually, they're not really interested in us. I don't care how good we might be, you know. But that's a marketing thing that we're kind of in the middle. So right now, Joe Henderson is really flying high, and but he's been out here for a long time. He should be. But J.J. Johnson also is doing being schmoozed by Polygram, and they should, you know. But he was having problems getting work and still not getting what's due to him, you know. So we don't feel so bad sometimes if people like that are having problems doing things. So, but he and I sit down and we talk about being patient and believing in what we do. And I haven't been this happy in a long time. I played with a lot of people in a lot of different situations, and I honestly can say that I miss being in a band, and it's really been really great. I mean, with all the headaches and stuff that goes along with it, and the sacrifices that we're making, basically financially right now, to invest into the group. But I mean, we're not in the hole yet, you know. But the music's that strong that I think things are beginning to happen now.
What stimulates programming, the music materials? What do you look for?
Well, because we're rhythm section players, we've had to be rather eclectic as we freelance and play with different people. So we kind of all had to be kind of chameleons, you know, to play the music and satisfy or our leaders, and so we like to play a lot of stuff, and we've had the experience. And of course, I've been able to maybe even have a little more experience than Akeeta, as I'm a few years older than he is. But collectively, we've done all kinds of things, from the Italian weddings to the bar mitzvahs, all the way through the circus music to the Broadway shows to the orchestral things, and so we like all kinds of things, and everybody in the band composes, and we bring music to the table. Not all of it fits. Not all of it. So, well, that's a nice tune, but I don't really hear us doing it. It might even be one of my tunes or one of his tunes. They don't seem to work or something. I don't really know. We rethink a lot about the programming because I think it's important. I think right now people have forgotten how arrangements used to sound, because they don't hear them like they used to sound. I mean, when Kamman was around, or Blakey was around, or Oscar Peterson Trio, or Ahmed Jamal, and they were bathed with these incredible arrangements and dynamics and surprises, and even though we're trying to, some people might think we're trying to cover more bases than we should, but I mean, we're in 1994 now. There's a very eclectic. The world is closer now. It's smaller than it used to be, and so there are a lot of influences that we have. I mean, I like to play pretty. I even like to do some of the free things like we did tonight, and just and I think we can do it tastefully, even for people who say they hate that kind of music. Well, I hate anything. There's a steady diet of anything, or over. You know, you can overdo anything, but if it's done well and we already can prove to them that we can play on changes, and we can play in tune, and we can use dynamics that the people will have accepted the things that we do, and so it's proven to us. And plus we're doing it also to keep ourselves interested, so that we don't stay bored. I mean, we could play the standards. That's the easiest thing for us to do. But then some people will say, well, don't you guys know anything else? And then there are people who really don't want to hear new stuff, but they might be the first person to tell. They say, well, all they do is Stella by Starlight. We'll go maybe next time they come in. So I mean, you find yourself, you can't please everyone anyway, and but musically, I think we that's why we try to do maybe some recognizable things, the Duke Ellington things, but treat it in a different way, just to kind of bend the ear a little bit. Art Farmer made a statement about, we have to kind of wash the ear, out once in a while, just so that the people really just become less predictable about just listening, because so they'll shut down. They say, well, I've heard it before, so they do something else. And so it's been kind of exciting and challenging to do something that also keeps the bass out front or keeps the drums. Or we're playing the way we play, the way we like to play. We can't play this way maybe with a lot of other people. Maybe Stan Getz might say we were having too much rhythmic fun. He might want it to stay in the pocket a little bit more. But I already know how to do that, so I can do that. And with respect to him and the music, that's what I would do. But and there are tunes. I mean, we will play the blues and rhythm and blues. A lot of hip bands won't do that but it's there. So and the original tunes we feel are strong and have a lot of interest in them. So, I mean, we like the music, so hopefully if we like it, then you will too.
That's the artistic side. And may I touch again on the problem of marketing with the mentality and mindset of the music business?
Well, I think if anyone really wanted to sell us, they could, and we could be busy. I mean, if we could get into somebody who really believes in what we're doing and the music that we're playing, as they do with a lot of other people, and there are a lot of people who are very, very famous and doing a lot of things that really don't have the staying power, or you can make anybody really famous. The trick is to kind of stay there, and I really feel that because I'm able to do what we're doing, and Akeeta, we're still working with a lot of different people. This is how my reputation has been able to sustain, is by being able to hopefully do it better than the last guy, and if the next guy has to work real hard just to carry on, certainly no one's indispensable, but I make it hard for the next guy to come and take my place. I work hard at doing that. My mother taught me, she said, you better do that, So I feel that if someone wanted to make us more popular, we could. We're slowly, I guess our society doesn't see that as something that's very interesting or whatever. I suppose we're the youth, and I have nothing against there's some incredible young players out here, but there's some unbelievable players. I mean, look at Reuben Brown. And this guy lives in Washington, D.C., and he knows almost every really incredible musician knows who he is, but he's just never really been out here. But this guy is heavy. I mean, he really is, and he's really... look how long it's taken Joe Henderson. He's played the same way all these years, but finally someone is beginning to recognize it, and they're putting some money behind him, and now, he's gone through the roof. So it can be done as long as the music is there, I really feel, and I feel that we have the ability to sustain. We're able to do. The people here that came here, they could have left, but they didn't. They weren't many, but they were here. When we're getting that kind of reaction everywhere we go, because they don't know what to expect next out of us, and I think that has a lot to do with it. But I think the business part is very difficult, and but I have to stay optimistic that somebody's going to take an interest that in us that can do something, and if they don't, we'll keep trucking along. But see, we're in control of everything. Everything we've done right now, we get all our own jobs. We've produced all our own albums, and everything that we've done thus far, we have been in control of. So consequently, if someone wants to come in, they're going to have to prove it to me that they can do it better than we can. I'm ready for somebody to do it too, because it's a lot of work. But if they can't prove that they can actually do something better than we can, and get the exposure and bring in financially and all that kind of stuff, well, then I don't want to see them. You know.
Rufus Reid, one barrier to entry is coming down, I'm sure.
I hope so. I hope so. But I'm confident about the music, and I really feel I'm excited about the ensemble. And you know, some of the members may change over the years. They got to, you know, in a sense. But we're establishing a book, a sound that that I really feel is really wonderful. And you know, I'm getting into the computer printing, music software and stuff, and so we have all our music, whether I wrote the music or Akeeta or anybody else. The music that TANAREID has, we have it in the computer, and if we ever have to go anywhere, like I was able to send Ruben the CDs and the music ahead of time and have him look it over, because Rob Schneiderman's, you know, had a baby and couldn't really make this trip. So and he did this homework, and it made it wonderful. And we still are able to play our music instead of having to water it down just because we have a new person, you know. And that's exciting to me. You know.
Thank you for your time after a long session.
Well, we enjoy playing, and of course we can play shorter, but it feels good in here. It felt good, so it was nice to leave it kind of like mellow with the ballad like that too. So.
And your added very subtle technology of amplified woodwinds et al.
Yeah. Well, the colors of the saxophone and woodwinds is really nice too for us to. We can be powerful, but we can have a lot of. We can add a lot of colors with the woodwinds, with the alto and the flute and soprano and tenor. It allows us to go many different other places. Yeah.
Just a postscript. You're an educator, working very diligently with students and stimulating them, whether it be the Jazz Event 94 at the University of Wisconsin, Eau Claire, or back in your home area in New Jersey. For you, what are the rewards as an educator?
Well, probably the biggest reward is when I see some of the students several years down the line, and they're still. I mean, I can remember when they probably couldn't play anything, and then they're making a name for themselves, or they have a new album, or they have that they're still at it, and they still have the love of it. And whereas at that time, I think it's very strategic sometimes. You can see some of the kids light up when you might be chastising them, but they're there to take it all, because that's the way I used to be. I mean, you know, to hang out with Ray Brown, just with my mouth open, just look at him like, you know, all goo-goo-eyed and everything, and to see the power that he has, and yet he was still a nice man. He was still really nice to me as a human being, you know, and I think, you know, I'd like to do it. I mean, I wouldn't do it if I didn't like it, and of course I didn't really want to teach when I came up, because a lot of the teachers that I had, I didn't really want to be like them. But I rather enjoy it only if the students really want to learn. You know, I can't really tolerate just teaching because I have to, but it's been a pleasure to. I've been on the faculty at William Patterson College now for 14 years. I took Thad Jones's place, and I didn't even think I'd ever be there any place teaching for that period of time. And I've got a son starting his second year of college next year, and I'll teach another couple years because I really want to play more and more. I have never stopped playing. The teaching has always been on the secondary for me, but it's always now. It has been paralleling with my playing career that my reputation is kind of moving together, So, and the times have changed now, so there's a lot of things that are happening in the schools and the educational processes, and I'm enjoying it, and it's been really exciting to see the kids light up. There were a lot of them down there in Eau Claire, and it was really, really, really wonderful. It's hard. It's hard work, though. It's hard work, and yet it's a good tired. It's a good tired.
Thank you, Rufus Reid.
Okay. Thank you very much.